Hello, everybody, and welcome again to TableTakes. I'm your host, Bonsai Vivian, and I'm joined by, of course, the lovely Javion, Noir, and Peter. We're gonna go ahead and just do a quick update right now. Peter, I saw that you were host a toasting last week. How was that?
I know. Last week was my first time where I was the host moderator for the show. That was a lot of fun. That was stressful. I admit it. It was stressful, but I'll do it again. I'm going to wait another 6 months and then I'll do it again. Sure. It was good. Yeah. But it's a great week. We've lots of Actroki stuff going on. We had a lot of people from out of town here as Actroki RPG players. And now they've all gone home. Things are going back to kind of a little bit normal, dull roar.
Yeah, I can finally feel that fall weather finally settling into Seattle. But I mean, Noir wouldn't know that because Noir, you're over there in Chicago. How's the weather over there in Chicago?
It's cold. But it's always cold. So no, it's a nice healthy 56 degrees right now. Still it's sweater weather and R&B coat weather, so that's good. Yeah, I've just been vibing. So we can vibing for the week. I was trying on a Halloween costume, and then I got caught in a work meeting, and that work meeting ran long. So now I'm still in my Halloween costume. So that we're just gonna have to accept that.
You get started early, aren't you?
Hey, you got to make sure you looking good for the holiday. Listen, I love Halloween more than every other holiday.
I feel like you could wear that no matter, not even in just Halloween. That's like a good like scarfy look for you. Like you're out doing a rebellion, you know?
It's my Star Wars RPG character. It's a Jedi. So,
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's why I was like, it's the robes that make it look rebellious.
Yeah.
All the flashy robes. What about you, Javion? What have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot. I've been very busy watching. I'm trying to get caught up on TV shows that people keep talking about. Well, Lord of the Rings one, Rings of Power, I think.
Yeah.
I've been watching The House of the Dragon, trying to get caught up on that. I finally caught up on all the Rick and Morty episodes, and I realized that there is a season 2 of Abbott Elementary, so I'm trying to watch that too. Oh, and I've been getting all of my Kickstarters in order. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm addicted to buying Kickstarters. You want to guess how many?
What?
You want to guess how many I've backed so far?
For this year?
Just in general, all time.
It has to be more than 100.
No, not that many. That's insane.
Oh, I thought you said of all time. I'm
no,
like,
you're
of all time.
I guess I wouldn't put it past me. I'm close to 100. I'm at 70. I've backed 70 Kickstarters.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's a lot. I'm still waiting on half of them.
Face?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Way to support the community.
100 Kickstarters?
Well, I've done 70
or 70 Kickstarters. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I've cracked 20.
Oh wow. Well, if you get to 25, I believe Kickstarter gives you a badge, like a super backer. So
is it a physical badge that I can wear?
Oh gosh. Well, you can print it out, I'm sure.
But no.
That's not the same.
I want free stuff.
Give me my free shirts and stuff. Honestly, free shirts are always a given and a taken for things. I think for me, basically, I basically stormed into Javion's house and demanded he play board games with me. It was very fun. Got to play with Emma and Javion, and we were playing Mountains of Madness.
It was insane.
It was insane. It was great. We all had to play crazy people also, but we were unaccomplished scientists because we didn't realize that we had to scour the bottom of the board first. But now we know for next time when we play. And
no, we did okay. I mean, we survived. We
survived.
Figured out how to do teamwork eventually.
No, but it was fun. And tomorrow I'm going to my first ever puppy party, which is basically, us millennials. Who cares about kids? We got dogs, and that's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be my first.
You better start. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you have a kid coming?
Yeah, but I had dogs first. Like I've been married for 10 years, and then I'm like, I might as well have a kid. Oh, I forget. Yeah, I have a kid coming.
You forgot.
That's the thing. That's the thing. But it's okay because I'm still going to my puppy party. That's more important than a gosh darn kids party. It's a puppy party. And I established that, I just love a lot of animals. I think that we all could like expand our love for animals, maybe even go into right into our news and headlines right away. Details on, we already touched bases on this a couple of months ago, but more details have come out about the new Wingspan expansion, Wingspan Asia. So this, of course, source is from Chase Carter of Dice Breakers. Talk about Wingspan's third expansion that brings with it 90 new bird cards, 11 new bonus cards, and enough base components to add 2 more players, which I really, really like because I have usually my board game parties are 6 to 7 players big. And unfortunately, Wingspan can really only go up to like 5. And so it's sad. But with this, the new players that you can add, plus 3 new game modes, aka solo, duet, and flock. The expansion will actually include enough components for folks to play the solo and duet modes without even owning the base game. So that maybe if somebody was like, oh, I really like the artwork, but I also don't want to buy a million expansions, maybe that's something to keep an eye, especially if you're maybe a 2-party household. And the duet, so it's duet modes, 2 race to cover certain habitats, diet, nest, and types of map. The flock mode actually is really great because it's designed for 6 to 7 players to play simultaneously. 2 people go at once, so you're not waiting for a long time for people to choose their birds, choose what, if they're going to lay eggs, where they're going to expand what habitat to. So I'm very excited to see and what they have in store. Pre-orders, of course, are planned out to go live in November. So that is very, very exciting to do. I don't know. How do you all feel about expansions, in
Great.
this?
Expansions are great. I mean, if you like a game, you get an expansion. If it's a good one, not all of them are good though. I mean, it's weird. Like some games, expansions are great. Other games, expansions like meh.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I wouldn't
Well-
have expected Asia to be an expansion for Wingspan. I always thought Wingspan already had all of the birds in it. I guess I just underestimated how many birds there are.
There's a diverse bird culture, I'll tell you. I come from an island. Most of our bird population got wiped out because of bad shipping contamination laws, and that's why we have customs that are hardcore.
Wow.
But yeah, no, especially for those, expansions. People love them, hate them. It all depends. A lot of people love and hate different things. Tools necessary to make your life easier or harder. Noir, what would you think about, tools in use of gaming?
I think tools are extraordinarily useful, and so does Games Workshop. They just announced a new range of Citadel Tools for Warhammer hobbyists. This article brought to us by Jeffrey Dom Sanchez over at ICV2. Thank you very much for that. Game Workshop announced a new range of Citadel Tools, which will be headed to pre-order on October 15th, 2022. The new range includes 3 refined tools to help reduce the appearance of mold lines on miniatures, and 1 tool that allows hobbyists to add pins to their models. The Superfine Detail Cutters allows hobbyists to clip small pieces from their spruces with ease and feature long, narrow blades for more accurate cuts. The mold line remover and knife are precision tools that help hobbyists clean up the extra plastic bits on their miniatures after they've been removed from the sprue. The knife also comes with 6 replacement blades. There'll also be a hand drill for players who want to drill into parts of their miniatures and add pins and such. This tool has a securing mechanism to prevent slippage and comes with 2 1mm bits and 2 1.5mm bits. I think this is especially cool because I just started getting into painting and 3D printing myself. So this is something that I would very much like to start getting into. So yeah, I'm digging it.
I have a Kickstarter on the way actually that's teaching how to do certain paintings in miniatures. It's like a quest thing where you paint miniatures a little bit at a time. And I don't have all of the tools yet. I have a chisel for like sanding down miniatures, and I have a paintbrush or 2 of them, a big one and a small one, and a couple of paints. But it looks like there are some really cool stuff. There's some really cool stuff coming out for tools and things. I might have to pick something like this up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something really, really, really cool. At least also from a tool, like I actually do use a lot of tools, not in terms of these small scales, but it is nice to have, I don't know, more of these like ways that you can cut off, remove, ban maybe some parts off of your pieces. What do you think, Peter? What
Yeah.
should we like just cut off like things that just don't seem right?
That is actually what's going on here. This story comes from Jeffrey Dom Sanchez at ICV2. Wizards of the Coast has banned 2 Magic the Gathering cards in the latest banned and restricted list announcement. So that's putting to use the banning as a tool. There, call back for you there, Bonsai. The first card, Yorion, Sky Nomad, was banned in the modern format. Yorion is a 5/4 flyer. And when you play her, you may exile other non-land permanents you own and bring them back at the end of your turn. This sounds like it would make a great combo in a deck that has other cards that have special effects when they come into play. However, your starting deck must have at least 20 cards more than the minimum for deck size. Since the typical minimum deck size is 60 cards, that means it's now 80 if you include Yorion. So Watsy felt that shuffling an 80-card deck repeatedly during tournament play was a cumbersome and challenging maneuver for players with limited physical dexterity. Another factor that contributed to the ban was that the card's repeated triggers caused long games. So the other card that was banned was Meat Hook Massacre. Yeah. Aside from the awesome imagery inspired by the card's title, Meat Hook Massacre is an enchantment that gives each creature -X/-X, where X is the extra mana spent beyond the 2 required to cast a spell. It gets better. Each of your creatures that die because of this cause your opponent to lose a life, and each of your opponent's creatures that die gain you a life. Now the visuals are really kicking in for me here, I got to admit. I could see this banning this card simply because of the fan fiction it might inspire. But no, the reason it got banned from Standard was to tone down black decks and give other decks a chance.
Wow. You don't hear about bans for accessibility as often as you see like balancing changes to games. This is really cool news.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. No, sorry, Noir, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm always on the side of not banning cards. Let us play, you cowards.
Unless you're on the other side, Noir, then you're like, no squirrels. Stop with the squirrels. Squirrels are evil. I think
you have no sympathy for kids who can't afford the really expensive cards? Noir.
No, I was a fiend in the comic book store. But that's why I stopped playing. To be a better person.
To be a better person. I mean, yeah, no, it's great that they're having this, and it is. I think, like Peter, you mentioned in your day that they used to like ban chunks of cards, and now it's just like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
1 or
2.
2
This
cards.
I don't know. To be honest, Bonsai, I'm not sure how this made news. We bind 10, 20 cards at a time back in my day. I mean, 2? Come on. The R&D department needs to try harder to come up with cards that are broken. That's what they need.
There you go. You got the order from Peter. Please make more broken cards for Magic the Gathering. It might bring a premium to the game. Especially. What do you think, Noir? Do you think that will add a premium?
I don't know about adding a premium to Magic, but I can tell you about adding a premium to D&D with Ultra Pro's new D&D Waterdeep coins.
Now that's news. Yeah,
I'm telling you, they're shiny too. Ultra Pro unveiled D&D Waterdeep coins, new premium accessories for release into retail summer 2023. These faux fantasy coins are officially licensed for Dungeons and Dragons. Players can use these coins to add more flavor to their D&D role-playing campaigns, and there are no precious metals used in the making of this product, and the coins are minted in zinc clad. Each set contains a platinum harbor moon, a brass toll, a platinum sun, 2 gold dragons, 5 copper nips, and 5 silver shards. Ultra Pro also revealed 3 plush new dice bags for release into retail. So I don't know about you, but I look forward to making it rain on my DM at the table.
I wonder if they would hurt though. Like that's my. I was like, they
Well,
look
yeah,
very weaponized.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have precious metals, but it's still metal. It's zinc clad, so
So it's still metal. It's like, yeah.
So when I make it rain on my DM, it will hurt.
Stop nerfing the paladin. That's when you.
A lot of people don't know how unique coins are in Forgotten Realms lore compared to how we usually think of coins as these just like round objects that we use every day, like in real life. But these ones are like shaped in the form of like a crescent or have like a little hole punched out in the center of them with really intricate designs on them, specifically so people can't forge them or forge them as easily as you could say like paper money or something like that.
No, that's very innovative of them to use so you can like block foraging. What do you think? Yeah, Javion, like you're saying, it just sounds very like age of innovation, so people can't just blatantly copy things.
Are you talking about the new Terra Mystica standalone game that we've been waiting for 2 years and we're still waiting for now? Yes, Terra Mystica Age of Innovation is a game that was announced last year in 2021, early in the year, actually. We're expecting it to come out sometime in the summer, but it's got delayed a couple of times. Now we're still waiting for it. Probably 2023 is what we're looking at. The publisher said that there is some news about it, however. Maybe some of you out there got to try it at Gen Con this year. A little bit got revealed about its mechanics and how it's different from the original and its spin-off intro game, Terra Nova and Terra Mystica. Well, Terra Mystica, for those who maybe haven't played it before, is kind of a big Euro game where you're trying to turn the world into a place that's best for your faction to live in. So like dwarves want lots of mountains and elves want lots of like various forests to expand upon, and like witches want the swamps and things like that. Well, Terra Mystica Age of Innovation is following up on that same premise with some new innovations. You'll get standout buildings that are kind of revamped, so they pop out a little bit more. They're not just these bricks that you place down, not just little meeples with no character to them. They're actually adding a little bit more of a good feel to them, especially with their brighter color scheme. That if you take a look at the image that is posted on this Dicebreaker article that we're using here, you get to see all of the new changes that they're adding in. And there is a board game geek enthusiast named Steven Brandt who actually played it at Gen Con this year and gave us a little bit of details on some of the inner workings of it. Like, for instance, that there's a front and a backside to the board now. You can play with 2 to 3 players a little bit more easily. It's designed specifically for that player group. And also the fact that you're splitting the faction and the player board apart from one another. Now you can choose a faction and a different player board to go with in your drafting at the beginning. Lots of cool changes. We're expecting it to be really, really cool. And the publisher even said that it's supposed to be Terra Mystica on steroids. Terra Mystica is already a really long game, so I'm very excited to see how they even more get even more crunchy with it, or how they expand even more on the game's deep lore that it has in the rule books and things like that, and with more expansions to come, hopefully. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like Terra Mystica a lot, but I will confess that whenever I want an example of a game where as soon as you get your engine working, the game ends, Terra Mystica is the first game that comes to mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, maybe I'm just not good enough at it, but every time I just get that combo working up, game over.
Oh, man. Well, I think it does a good job of tightening things, because a lot of games, they give you that big engine feel, but then it also feels like there's a lot of snowballing to it. So hopefully,
but I'm all about the snowballing. I love the snowballing. I'm a power gamer from the 80s, 50th level D&D characters. I mean, like, you got to know.
Well, I'm very hopeful that the gamers who enjoy the classic feel that Terra Mystica has are going to enjoy the revamped style of the standalone.
Definitely in.
Yeah.
I've actually never played, so I'm looking forward to playing the first time.
Definitely.
Ooh.
It's definitely one of those ones that I would recommend, and I'm happy to teach it.
Maybe we could also here at Gen Con, we got a whole slew of shows. We could probably even play it on stream if we ever get a copy, Just saying.
If we
It'd be
ever had the
nice.
right camera for it, right, JB?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope
Who
so
knows?
too.
Christmas is just around the corner.
Ooh, speaking about things, especially like thinking about old style games and how they came about. Like, Peter, do you know how maybe somebody should like do a documentary about old games that we all love?
Somebody needs to write this shit down, that's for sure. Yes, there is a story that comes to us from Etten Blessing in the Hollywood Reporter. Yes, that's right, the Hollywood Reporter. Our radar for coverage of the tabletop gaming news you care about extends far and wide. The Hollywood Reporter reports that a Dungeons and Dragons documentary is in the works at Hasbro. This project is one of many films, scripted and unscripted TV series to come from Entertainment One, which is the entertainment division of Hasbro. So this one is based on the 50-year tabletop role-playing game. The documentary will coincide with the game's 50th anniversary in 2024. It will draw on the game's wizards and elves and archived Dungeons and Dragons footage dating back to the game's creation in the early 1970s. Dungeons and Dragons writer Joe Manganiello will co-direct the project with Kyle Newman. Joe's brothers Nick Manganiello will produce, along with Anthony Savini and Cecily Tyler, Hasbro's president of Wizards of the Coast and Digital Gaming. Michael Lombardo, E1's head of global television, said in a statement, "As we approach 50 years of this incredible gaming universe, the time is right for an officially authorized telling of the game's origins and current state of play to its passionate fan base from all walks of life and its global cultural impact." Tara Long, Gino McDermott, John Peterson, Adam F. Goldberg, and Kyle Newman will share the executive producer credits. Hasbro and E1 also have a TV series in the works. Derek Kolstad, the creator and writer behind the John Wick franchise, has been tapped to pen and develop a pitch for a live-action series based on the Dungeons & Dragons universe. The E1 documentary is separate from another Dungeons & Dragons nonfiction feature that is in the works from documentary studio XCR with the title Role Players. The Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game is known for its treasure hunts, camaraderie, and reversals of fortune, all in a fantasy setting that combines humans, elves, orcs, and hundreds of other creatures. I'm glad we got that straight. Good. All right. This commemorative documentary project at Hasbro emerges as E1 expands its output of TV projects based on the Toy Giants properties, including legacy tabletop games for popular franchises like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, as Hasbro aims to become an overall gaming power. It's interesting to see how Hollywood Reporter talks about Hasbro and Wizards and D&D. This is fun. I love this. Hasbro CEO Chris Cox told Wall Street analysts last April, "We see a bright future for Dungeons and Dragons, and we only see these opportunities growing over time as we invest in an end-to-end brand blueprint for Dungeons and Dragons, including blockbuster films and streaming TV, AAA video games," not to be confused, I'm sure, with AAA roadside assistance, and major consumer products, push, and significant marketing tie-ins. All right. Well, there you go.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's so cool. I believe I saw Anthony Savini's name in here. Anthony was involved in a Kickstarter about a decade ago that raised money for the Dungeons and Dragons documentary, and I remember because I contributed to it back in the day, and then for some reason the program fell apart. But Anthony has always promised that he's been dedicated to this. He's like, this project is going to happen one way or another. So I think it's really great that he found a way to move this thing forward, and it's finally getting done.
We got a documentary, we got a feature film. I mean, what's next? A video game? Oh wait, there's already that. Well, maybe like oh no, miniatures are kind of toys. Okay, well, I guess D&D is just going everywhere.
We need fashion lines to take over. Okay, wizard hats and witches hats need to get into style. Everyone needs to be walking around with wide brim.
Exactly.
Everybody dress like your characters. Let's
Yeah!
go.
Hey,
We're taking over. It's Revenge of the
cosplay.
Nerds. We
That's
get
a good idea.
mainstream now. When I can go to Walmart and buy myself a cosplay costume, We've made it. So I guess, yes. I mean, I guess you have to get ready. Eventually, you will probably be interviewed for this as well, Peter. Maybe coming up, you think?
I was actually way back when it was being worked on 10 years ago. I have no idea if they
so
still have
they're
that
gonna just use
footage,
10-year-old footage.
Yeah. So I don't know if they'll look me up again or not, but I have no idea what I said. Of course, who knows what my story was then.
Well, we'll have to see when it comes out. But that is exciting news to end our main headlines on. Yeah, we have to just look forward to the D&D Hasbro documentary. You know what? I think in the spirit of Halloween, Javion, will you be the bundle boss for this week? This week of bundling, please, Javion.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bonsai. Yep, I'm the bundle boss this week. And what a good week to be the bundle boss, because, Bundle of Holding is running the Apocalypse Engine critter hunting tabletop role-playing game, Monster of the Week. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Maybe you have heard of it before, possibly because we played it last week on TableTakes game night, and we will be playing it again tonight and next week as well. I'm a huge, massive fan of Monster of the Week. Initially, I just started, learning a little bit about it a couple weeks ago in preparation for running it this week. I didn't know how I was going to go. I've had recommendations for it, and I know a lot of people liked it, but I had to really play it for myself so that I could pass this on to all of you. If you are a game master, if you're a dungeon master out there, and you want help running your game, if you don't want to have to do it all by yourself, Monster of the Week is a great platform for you to run games without having to do mountains and mountains of work all on your own. Monster of the Week is a type of format that lends itself well to episodic adventures, where every week there's a new monster for your players to hunt. And in the bundle, you get not only the base book that has all of the core rules and way more help than you need to run your game, and workbooks to help you check off things on your list to make sure that you have a campaign ready to go. But you also get the Tome of Mysteries, which adds in more playbooks for your players to make their character sheets, more mysteries, more monsters and evil baddies for your players to try to hunt, maybe even kill. But you also can bump up that. You don't even have to. No, there's no bonus. You get it all in one. It's all $13. You get a PDF for Monster of the Week Mystery 4-pack that comes with Eaten by the Rich, Frosty Reception, Honey, I Shrunk the Hunters, and the Running Out of Time Mysteries, which are all excellent mysteries for you to plug in and play with your group any single week you decide to. But that's not all. You also get Van Helsing's Creature Codex, because if there's one thing that Monster of the Week features more than anything else, it's monsters. So here you get 2 mini bestiaries so that you have plenty of inspiration to make creatures for your players to have exciting adventures, collecting clues about, solving mysteries about, and eventually hunting down. This bundle only has 5 days left to go. It's an insane deal. You get so much content, all of it DRM free, so you can play it with your players over the internet or print it out with no hassle, no worries. Definitely check it out if you want to support a very cool website that always gives excellent deals for us role players.
Ooh, very, very nice. And if you guys want to go ahead and see what this Monster of the Week thing is all about, remember, right after this, we have game night with us, Noir, me, Javion, Marcus, and everybody, Anita as well. It's going to be really, really great. So if you want to just have a demo, our glorious leader, Javion, will be leading us in that campaign. Now we're going to go ahead and... Everyone here stand to attention. Now it is time for the crowdfunders. Court is now in there. Peter, what do you have in store for us today in which to feast upon our eyes upon. Yes.
Oh, Your Honor, I have an excellent one. Mosaic, the Wars and Disease expansion. Yeah, that's right. So this is an expansion to the game Mosaic. Kickstarter is from Forbidden Games. It has raised $256. Oh wait, no, $256,000, and has 27 days to go. So
Big difference.
yeah, big difference. So they're doing much better than I thought. Okay, so in Mosaic, you guide an ancient civilization from its founding up through the modern age. You decide leaders and what technologies to research, where to found your starting city. Will you focus on expansion or productivity? Will you build soaring wonders or trade networks? Will you found new cities, recruit powerful armies to build your empire? Will your people praise you during a golden age or curse you for oppressive taxes? Well, I know which one I would pick. This current Kickstarter is for the expansion Wars and Disasters, but you can buy the base game as part of the offering, which is what I did. I admit I got a little confused about all the different options, so I just went down to the bottom and picked the last one, and it said everything, so I think I'm going to get everything I need. Yes, I agree. This sounds like a lot of fun. I have to admit, I am a sucker for any civ building game. I like the old Avalon Hill Civilization. One of the only video games I play is Sid Meier's Civilization, which some people think was a derivative of Avalon Hill Civilization. I also like the board game adaptation of the Sid Meier video game. It was possibly an adaptation of the Avalon Hill board game. And I like Vlad Through the Ages and Innovation, the civ building card game by Karl Schudick. So yes, I donated. I look forward to playing it so that the next time another civ building game comes along, I have one more civ building game I can add to the list of other civ building games I like.
It's a lot of civ building. All the civilizations at the corner of your fingers. Thank you. Thank you very much for that delectable civ game presentation to us.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
I also have one to bring up to the table. It is called Ink, and this is from Backer's Kit. It has 19 days left, ending November 1st. Players take, this is a tabletop RPG. Battle your way through the spirit world in Ink, a new tabletop role-playing game from Snowbright Studios. Rejoin the lost souls of the departed characters as you travel dangerous waters and treacherous isles. Players take on the role of one past character or favorite NPC that had died in other games. So this is how you can revitalize your previous characters from other games that you like playing, and find themselves awakening in Ink, a purgatory of sorts. They have to band together, explore, and battle their way through the Ink to escape the purgatory, and those who fail will become part of the dark waters of the Ink. The gameplay uses its own system with several interesting concepts based on the themes and setting, notably the expectations with the characters that you will die frequently. This is a game that you're playing past NPCs or past characters you love, and you are in purgatory. You will die lots and lots and lots and lots of times, but that's okay because you have a shadow part with you, which is what you improve every time you die, and the spirit, which is always remaining the same. And slowly, each time you die, you improve upon your shadow creature, and your spirit remains the same throughout. So that I just like the concept of, like, you know how old playing in games, you're like, oh no, this character is my baby, I can't let it die. This one is very much, oh, I died, okay, let me see what my improvements are now, and bring it all back. So if that sounds interesting, you Ink is up left for grabs. Remember, back on Backer Kit.
So does that mean I should have kept all those characters that I had that Javion killed off when we played Dungeon Crawl Classics?
Maybe. I mean, you still hold the concept of the character.
I can name them. Yeah.
You can name them and you just reuse them. Yeah, you don't have to have exact stats. You just can bring back that character and replay them in a never-ending torturous purgatory on which you play until you lose yourself.
That
So
sounds like
you
my
die
game.
to level.
Yes, die to level. The party kill to level is the concept. You have to party kill, party wipe to level, and then your whole party comes back.
I'm so good at leading people to a TPK. I'll be unstoppable.
You will be.
Yes.
I have a question. Is there a clause for someone who doesn't present anything for a crowdfunder court? I mean, I feel like that's an automatic beheading, right? Like that's
Well,
that's an
I'm
automatic
glad that you
decapitation.
mentioned that because I have one ready to go.
Do you really? Okay,
Yes,
I
I
can't wait
do.
to hear it.
Slap leather,
I am
Marmot.
I am proud to present Kids on Bike 2.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah, you thought I wasn't ready? I'm always ready. I got that thing in the chamber. Kids on Bikes is one of my favorite systems, and now they've gone ahead and they've updated it. It's already been funded. It funded this is the second edition. It funded in what, an hour. But now let's see. Now there's going to be refined character rules, player scalable stakes for violence, expanded game master sections for compelling creatures, more collaborative story sections with fun bike ride themed tools, and full compatibility with Strange Adventures Volume 1 and 2. So it's just giving you more of what you already love. If you're unfamiliar with Kids on Bikes, there are a bunch of different derivatives that use the standard core system. Kids on brooms, kids with capes. It's all based on the Kids on Bike systems. I was actually a part of an actual play that used this on Pixel Circus. A fun time all the way around. Think Stranger Things in terms of vibes. This is of course by Hunter Books. I can't recommend this enough. So there you go. And I get to keep my head. Javion, trying to get him headed.
I'm happy for you, Noir. I like your head. Okay,
Very,
I've got my Kickstarter. I wanna get through before we have our very special interview coming up right after this.
Yes.
So this Kickstarter is called Cool. It's a card game. Have you ever played Slapjack? Oh, what about Sparkle Kitty? It takes on a lot of aspects that are very similar to both of those games. It's based off of the idea that people across the globe are united in the use of a word that is typically supposed to mean something that's like a temperature, but we took on a completely different meaning, and everybody all over the world knows what it means when you say it. That's pretty cool, and they made a game out of it. These designers are famous for making lots and lots of games, like Inhuman Conditions, a game that maybe some of you have played before with me. Illimat and Gloom, very cool designers, have built this game. And it's all kind of like this: play a card, say what the card says, and then you got these different rule cards that tell you if two of the same card come out, or if you have three cards that are different in a row come out at once, you slap down on a pile and you get to collect the cards. And when you run out of cards, you're out of the game. And then you try to win that way. It's very cool. It's a very short, succinct kind of game. It's very cool, if you ask me. And there are a lot of backer rewards, such as a bonus card you can only get, a bonus sticker sheet as well. You've got voting rights in this sort of democracy kind of way that the game designers are helping you name the card. It's bound to be a very excellent game. Two Gather Studios has backed created 5 different Kickstarters, and this is sure to be another very successful one. Got about 14 days, 2 weeks left if you want to jump on it. And it's a very, very cheap price point if you wanted to just, collect a very easy to play kind of game. $15. What's the harm? What one more card game in your collection? It's a very cool game if you ask me. Definitely check it out.
Cool, Javion. Yeah.
Did I say cool enough?
Yeah, you gotta say cool
Thank
even
you.
more. But no, thank you. Those round of applause. Those were all excellent crowdfunders that we all brought to this table. Now it's time to get into the true meat and bones in this today. We are, if you just wait a few minutes, we are going to be bringing in Sarah Moore and Damon Vanhey, both creators of the Crown RPG. And you're like, what is the Crown RPG? Well, guess what? We have them coming in to tell us what that game is about. And, just a little hint, there may be some godlike expectations.
Yeah.
Godlike
50th
expectations.
level.
So hold on tight while we bring them in. We're gonna go ahead and do our cool teleportation music. Watch. Do 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 do.
I refuse to take part in this.
Hi.
What is happening?
we were doing our teleporting telecom.
Oh,
We
We made
teleported
it.
you in.
You did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did it.
Good job.
Good job, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome to TableTakes.
Thanks.
Thanks.
oh, well,
How
we
is
have some.
everyone?
Doing
Great.
good. How are you?
Good.
How are
Very
you?
familiar looking faces here. How about both of you introduce yourselves? Maybe starting with Damon and then Sarah.
Great. My name is Damon Van He. My pronouns are he, him. And I founded formerly Feral Games and created the Crown. Woo.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarah Moore. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me all over the internet at Pixies and Pins. And I also helped a lot on those things that he just said.
Well, what's
true.
the crown all about? Tell us more.
The Crown is a game where you get to play a god of pretty much anything that you want. That was kind of the goal, is to give as much agency and creativity to the players. So yeah, you can be the god of something tiny, something big, whatever you want. It's all balanced to accommodate anything a player could want to do.
Can you be a malicious god?
But yeah, you certainly can. You can do whatever you would like with your godhood, as long as you clear it with your table and your storyteller.
Sold. Where can I buy it?
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
Easy sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a Kickstarter going on right now that funded in under 72 hours. We're halfway to our next stretch goal that is happening. So you can find that if you go to formerlyferalgames.com. The link is right there. Or Kickstarter's got a search engine and stuff.
Oh no, very, very cool. I guess one of my let's go ahead and get the hard hitting questions for this. What for I'll go ahead and direct this towards Sarah. For this game, what, like, in terms of, like, when you looked at godlyhood, what mostly in terms of cultural backgrounds did you look at? Is it mostly like Western gods, Eastern gods? Or are you just like looking alien gods, maybe?
Yeah, we sort of threw away all of those influences. We created our own ruling pantheon that is 10 gods called the Clade, and they rule over, they have their own specific purviews. They are very, very, very powerful. You are playing like little tiny minor peon gods compared to them. But we took away any of the like traditional, like, we don't have like Thor in our game. They're all original gods for the system.
Ooh.
Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth obviously in the game and loves to play it. He like last time he and I were hanging out, we were playing the game and he was like, man, this game's amazing. Anyway, so it's been officially endorsed by Chris Hemsworth, so you should buy it, is what.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
fan.
yeah. Big fan.
So is everybody at the table playing a god?
Yes.
And I heard you mention that there's a storyteller. Is that what you call the game master?
Yeah. Damon, grab this one.
Okay. Yeah, we storytelling is pretty focal to the game. So we didn't want any masters at the table. It's just you're telling a story with the players who are there. So our GM slot is filled by the storyteller.
And how is it different than a lot of other games in terms of like what their role is in the game?
That's a great question. Their role, the storyteller's role in this particular game is really one of support for the players. We're putting a good portion of the narrative responsibility on the players, only because it's so customizable for the character that you can play. It's a system that we couldn't actually write the rules to encompass every possible scenario because players' imaginations are just out of control. So the storyteller
in a good way,
in a great way, in a
In a good
fantastic way. Yeah. And so the storyteller is really there to help support all of what the players are looking to do in this. It's definitely a thing that there's the same amount of planning that kind of goes into it, but it's a lot more collaborative than other games can be.
Okay, very, very cool. I guess. Oh, go ahead, Peter.
So do you have like one thing that's common in mythology is that a god is a god of something, like the god of the harvest or the god
Mhm.
of childbirth or something like that. Is that an element? Do as players in the crown, would we get to like decide I'm the god of psionics or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what you get to pick a tiny slice of reality. The ones that we always give as examples are in the same party, you could have the god of bubblegum and the god of volcanoes. And so then all of your divine power is going to manifest with something to do with your particular purview. So like god of bubblegum is going to be doing a lot of bubblegum related stuff, but is just as powerful as the god of volcanoes, which will probably have lava and magma and things of that nature. But yeah, you get to pick as a player, and it can be anything, and it doesn't have to be a tangible thing. It can be, you know, the god of pauses.
Esoterica.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, the god of
There-
conversation.
Sarah, you have so much experience with RPGs. As anybody who's watched any of your shows knows, I'm sure this game was super fun for the two of you to create. What was the process like? Have you two worked together before?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've been friends for, I don't know, over 10 years now, I think, and we started
Yeah.
working together in a different capacity. We were working on films together at the beginning, and then have played RPGs together just as players. I tend to accidentally kill Damon's character every time we play. It's fine. We're still friends. And we it sort of grew into this like a partnership of, we tell stories, I think, in a similar way. Our subject matter probably different. As you can tell from the rainbows and joy behind me, and the starkness of Damon's background.
Welcome to my blank wall.
Very nice. Very, very, very blank.
Yes, it's a palette waiting for you to paint on. But yeah, so I think the process for this, there was just a lot of meetings, just a lot of us talking at each other, and it sort of turned into this. Damon, what are your thoughts on the process?
Yeah, it started out of kind of a necessity on my part. I really wanted to run a game in the world that I had in mind, and it was kind of a struggle to find a system that supported it. And I wound up homebrewing so much of what was happening with Sarah's help, and you know, we just kind of came together and assembled the game as we have it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's very cool. I love to mention like the artwork for this. I don't know who is the contributor. Can you tell us? Because it's amazing.
And it's a familiar name for Gen Con TV. Tanel Levitt does all of our art.
Wow.
So she is familiar
Tired.
to folks who have watched. She's very tired, yes.
Yeah.
But she is the art director here. So all the thumbnails that you see come from Tanel, and she also does all of the live drawing and stuff for Actor Oki. And we did steal her, and I will probably give her back.
Oh, well, yeah, probably. Yeah, this is
We love
Probably.
to know. We love her so much.
We love to know.
Yeah.
She's so good.
I couldn't help but hear that you often kill Damon's character. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there is a PvP or competitive element to this.
Oh no,
to
I
this
just
game?
mean in general, in
Oh,
all the
okay.
games that we have played.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it happens. Actually, in this particular game, it is very difficult to kill a god. Gods are very sturdy, and this is we have built in a mechanic where basically, if your character is going to die, it's like a player choice. Like, we wanted to make sure that was
Oh,
the
I
thing.
like that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
good.
way you can decide how you want your story to end. You know, it can be a blaze of glory. You can retire, walk off, you know, however you want it to be. If you don't think that it is right for the character to die, then I mean, keep going. You're a
Then they
guy.
don't.
Get back
Yeah.
up.
I love the idea of a guy just retiring. Like, you know what? Nah.
I'm just tired. I'm just gonna sit down for a while.
I did this
Yeah.
for 2 eons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
I'm the
a-
god of screw this.
That's
One
good.
thing, one thing I'm really curious about is what kind of components do players need in order to get started with this?
Oh, so little. The book, like a mess of D6s, something to write with, and like people at your table. That's all you
Awesome.
need. Yeah.
And would you say it's like pretty easy to get started, to learn how to play with the first game? How much aid do you think it provides players with who are maybe new to RPGs?
We've tested a lot with a wide range of experience levels, and everybody picks it up at about the same pace. You know, it's just a little, because it is a new system. The mechanics are all new, but it's all based in familiar things. You know, everybody has D6s if they've done any gaming. You know, and it's pretty quick and intuitive once you sit down and get into it. And we explain all of that in the book.
So I have a question for Damon. What is one of the most interesting design challenges you've faced in designing this game?
Balance. that was the hardest, because we wanted the god of volcanoes and the god of bubblegum to be able to play together, and that had to have balance inherent within it, because they sound like they would be just really disparate power levels. But ultimately it's about being clever as a player and working within that divine purview to do neat and weird things. So all of the gods are doing all of their we call them rotes in the games. They're your divine spells. Everybody is casting those from individual aether pools that you have, and they all start at the same level. So your power potential is the same no matter what it is you are the god of. And once we figured out that little aspect to it and then tweaked a little math here and there, everything sort of fell into place for us, because we could really start to just build the game that we wanted from there.
That sounds so cool.
It does.
I know that there's the base level where you can just get the book for the game, but what about the Kickstarters, the backers who want a little bit more for their game? What extra level?
Yeah,
are you,
well, at the
providing?
very top tier, you can buy a game session at Gen Con with the creators for your table. That's the
Whoa.
very top tier, and you get
Ooh.
everything. You get a book for everybody, and we also have tarot cards that we're offering that have all of the Clade members on them. So like all of the fancy stuff. But we also have one of our favorite tiers is I think we called it God of Generosity, and that's when you buy a copy that you get to keep yourself, and then a community copy that you can gift to a place in your community, so that other people can have access to the game. We also have like digital sessions that you can buy for your table that Damon or I will run.
Wow.
And we had some tiers that were original art of a character that you could buy, but they sold out in like 8.5 minutes. So like they're just like those aren't there. Maybe, you know, if the Kickstarter goes like gangbusters, we might be able to open up some more. But like we already had to reopen that tier, and it was gone immediately again. So
Wow.
The art's real
That's
good.
awesome.
it's real good. The art is real good.
All right.
is.
So what are your lock stretch goals? I'm kidding. Trying to get it
When the Kickstarters actually finish and when you guys are done with fulfillment and things like that, I'm sure you guys are really excited to take a break, because I know as well as anybody does, I'm sure everybody knows here, how exhausting and how time intensive a crowdfunding campaign can be.
Yeah.
But what are your plans for after the campaigns ended and backers are starting to collect their items?
I personally just want to keep creating in this world. It's been so much fun to run games, and now I'm starting to get to play in games for the first time in this world, which is just super great for me. And I've got a bunch of source books and other things that I want to create, because so much is going to just land on the editing floor after this. So
Yeah.
putting some of all of that back in will make me very happy.
Yeah.
What about you, Sarah?
I mean, I think we're gonna end up. I have my hands in some modules that we are talking about writing for the game. And then this is taking place in the big major city, but there are 9 other cities. So maybe we start scooting that direction, scooting out into along the rail lines out into the beyond. So there's a bunch. I think we're stuck with each other at this point, that we've started this big this big world that we're creating. So fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my question for you, as just a fun little question. Like, say this hits off, what would your dream table look like in terms of players to play this? Like, it's huge, it's success. It has like TV, and what is your dream set of players? Like, Chris Pratt or something like that, or I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a big question. I've never considered that.
It's an interesting choice, but
I just said I was trying to think of a random name. That's the first name that came up. I am so sorry.
Yeah,
Chris
no.
Pratt got the Mario
Of
movie
Mario
on the brain,
fame.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's best known for, I think.
I think I would pick Tom Waits to be at the table.
Yeah.
Because I think he would play something deeply strange, like the God of Lemonade or Barn Doors or something like that. And then I think I would maybe scoop up a lot of the fellow nerds from Star Trek Discovery and put them all at table. I feel like as a group, they
Doug
would do really
Jones
well.
would be amazing at the table. That would be really fun.
Those are some good choices.
Yeah, those are.
Anyway, for those of you who, obviously the people we just named who are watching, you can just, you can just email me and we'll get it set up.
Piece of cake.
This
has been so much fun interviewing the two of you. I've always wanted to interview you, Sarah, and I'm so glad we got to meet you, David. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody, don't forget to check out the Kickstarter. You've got plenty of time left to go. I think it's like 26 days left. Plenty of time if you want to jump on.
Yeah, we funded fast. We just started. Yeah.
So cool. I'm so happy for you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And also, if you want to go ahead, and this sounds interesting enough to you, and you want to go ahead and see how it's played, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sarah Moore is going to be actually playing this on this channel. So you just hang out if you want the Crown RPGs. And, thank you again, Damon and Sarah, for telling us about, of course, the Crown RPG. There's links in chat if you want to go ahead and check it out. If you want, hey, after this, we might be ending with TableTakes, but there's still a lot more to this show here on TableTakes or Gen Con TV. Stick around, because coming right after this, we got TableTakes Game Night. We got Play Monster of the Week. Javion is our DM during that, and we are going to be apparently up to shenanigans. There's a kangaroo. There's some,
the kangaroo
involved. There's a professor or counselor that's slapping children. I don't know. It's something. It's an adventure. And then, of course, after this, you can join godlike proportions on Sarah's table. Sarah Moore, of course, right here. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I'm pointing at the right box. No, up here. All right. Is going to be playing the game that we just talked about, the Crown RPG, with some friends. And then also on Sunday at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, dress to quest, action, adventure, and awesome costumes for all of you to enjoy. And this is the streaming schedule for Gen Con this week. Mondays, of course, this is all Pacific Standard Times. 4 p.m. board games with the brothers Murph. They're brothers. They play video games. Chill, hang out, relax. What could go wrong when family plays board games? Tuesday, we got Out of Character with Mark Tassin. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Actor Roki returns. Mike Boozers, the DM, nearly departed and in the side quest to find Beatrice. Boo, I think. Bow.
It's my bow. It's my bow.
It's your bow. Your bow.
Looking for my bow. And I also wear weapons. I'm a sword. He's a bow.
Oh, romance.
Romance between sentient magic items.
Sentient magic items. Okay. And also Thursday, Blood on the Clock Tower with Ben Burns, the award-winning social deduction game played by creators within the community. And 4 p.m. roll with Rem Alternus, interviews with creators, developers, and Shadowrun. And then, of course, you join us again here on Fridays, 2 p.m. TableTakes, and game night, and Sarah's Table, all of that and more. Thank you again for everyone who hang out. Thank you again to our interviewees. Thank you to Peter, Javion, Noir, Damon, Sarah, and behind the scenes, Marcus Godking.
Marcus.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And if you miss out on our programming, don't worry. We'll be on YouTube 24 hours later, or you can just check out our VODs here on Twitch. And remember, folks, follow Gen Con TV here for more of the best 4 games in gaming all year round. I hope you guys have a good one. See ya, and drink your pumpkin spice.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Damon.